Imagine yourself a long time ago, before electricity and television, before the internet and social media. What stories would you tell? What stories do you think your ancestors told? For millennia, people and cultures from around the world have looked to the sky for constancy, for resiliency, for a glimpse into eternity. And they have told stories. Many stories we hear today came from ancient Greeks thousands of years ago. Let me tell you one of them. The tale of the great hunter Orion, who was punished for his vanity. Atop Mount Olympus in Greece, powerful gods and goddesses made their home, including the fiery Artemis. Goddess of the moon, protector of children and nature, Artemis was as wild as the animals she protected. She preferred to stay away from humans. In her temple, she gave birth to living creatures. She rejoiced in taking care of them. She took pride in seeing them come to life. Thanks to her, peace reigned in the animal kingdom. But one day, a mighty hunter called Orion invited himself onto the land of Artemis and jeopardized everything. Boasting of his hunting skills, Orion threatened to kill all Earth's creatures. Obviously, the goddess could not bear this. To stop Orion, she removed him from Earth and placed him into the sky as a reminder to humans that nature is not their own, but they are part of nature. Because stars live for an extraordinarily long time and move slowly relative to one another, you can search for the same patterns your ancestors saw millennia after their stories were first told. We can still see this group of stars we now call the Orion constellation. But every culture around the world saw something different through the centuries. Many shared their stories, found common threads, and wove similar tales, but everyone made the sky their own. No matter where we live in the world, we all share one sky.
এটা যেগুলো আমরা দেখছি ওরকম না, আরেকটা Here in the American Southwest, in Denebikea, winters are cold and dry. During the long nights, we take time to remind ourselves how the sky and earth are connected. For us, the Dene or Navajo people, there is a whole world of living beings who help us here on earth. They whisper to us when to plant seeds, when to expect the return of spring. The sky connects us to changes on earth. One important story in the sky is Itne, the thunderbird. Last thunder sound, time for life to slow down. The bear will start its hibernation. The Gila monster will hide underground. Everyone prepares for the long, cold nights. But the thunderbird will help us mark the cycle of the seasons. The essence of the thunderbird is a gigantic feather, so gigantic that it transcends space and time. When the feather crosses the entire sky, we know that the thunder will return, and with it, life, with all its diversity and abundance. As the harvest winds down, we look for the crescent moon rising just before the sun. And one morning in October, before the sky grows too bright, we find the star, the nebula, in the east. Its appearance marks the separation between seasons, the time to store crops and to save seeds for planting next year. When the next crescent moon appears, the nebula is spending more time in the sky before the morning light, and we can look for another star to join it. After several days, we spot Arcturus appearing briefly at dawn. The days are growing shorter and colder. We spend more time inside, telling stories about Mother Earth and Father Sky. Moon after moon, we watch new bright stars rising in the east. Alphecca appears in December. Vega in January. Deneb in February. Days are now longer and warmer. Faint in the glow of the March morning sky, we can find Shea, the final star in the thunderbird's feather. From the east to the west, the feather now fills the entire sky above us, connecting the thunderbird to the cosmos. It's time for the thunder to return and awaken the living world. The time for winter stories has ended. Time to honor spring and the seasonal cycles of life on Earth. Time to call the animals out of hibernation. Time for the seeds to grow. Time to celebrate the season of abundance and the diversity, generosity, and the fertility of life. If we rise before the sun one spring morning and observe the sky again, we will see a new constellation, Itnet the Thunderbird. And Itnet is not alone in the sky. Just to the south, we can see Shush, the bear, awakened by the spring thunder. The bear has come out of hibernation. Life is everywhere. In the sky, on Earth, and inside us. The Thunderbird and other constellations manifest the intricate connection of Earth and sky, of seasons and life, animals and plants, humans, lightning and thunder.
My story is a story of bringing the stars down to Earth. I lived more than 3 centuries ago in a region called Ambar in what is now known as India. From the age of 13, I led my people and ruled in my country. All of us had a deep connection to the stars, but as the Maharaja, I also had the privilege and luxury of studying the sky. My name is Jai Singh. I always admired the order and predictability of the heavens. Welcome to the Ram Yantra, one of my instruments for observing the sky. Here, over many long nights, I contemplated the heavens and delighted in the slow choreography of the stars. The chaos that reigned in my country was in stark contrast to the purity and consistency of the cosmos. Could I use my skills of predicting the positions of the stars to master time and regulate society? My people would benefit from the order this would bring to their lives. I read books from India and Egypt, from Arabia and Europe about geometry and astronomy. I learned to calculate the locations of stars and planets, but I noticed discrepancies. The mathematics didn't always match my observations. Most astronomical devices of my time were not precise enough, too small and made from metal, which expands with the heat of the day and contracts in the cold of the night. I began to imagine new tools. What if astronomers could be inside large instruments to make more precise observations? And what if these huge observatories were made of sandstone and plaster instead of metal? I drew the plans myself. To fulfill my dream of perfection and to achieve an accuracy unheard of at that time, observations had to be made at multiple longitudes. I built observatories in Ujjain, Mathura, Varanasi, Delhi, and Jaipur. I want to tell you about two special instruments in Jaipur. The Samrat Yantra is known as the king of instruments. With a height of 22 meters, it is the biggest sundial in the world. Its architecture points north, perfectly aligned with Earth's axis. As Earth rotates, the shadow of the Norman Tower moves across the dial. With this instrument, we can measure time with a precision of 2 seconds. The fine engravings allow anyone to read the time because my observatories are accessible to all. At the Jai Prakash Yantra, we record the position of the sun by day and measure the position of the stars by night. Each inverted dome represents one half of the celestial vault. Individually, the instruments measure time and space, and together, they reveal the movement of the stars with unprecedented precision. The results of these observations can be used by my people to fix important dates such as harvests and religious festivals. My passion for the stars has helped bring harmony to my country. I have fulfilled my dream to bring the perfection of the heavens down to earth. I invite you to visit my observatories, which still stand after 300 years. You can still read the time and contemplate the order of the heavens.
মনে রাখেন যাইতে হবে
I find great comfort looking up at the stars. Sometimes I think about the past. Images in the sky remind me of stories I heard as a child and experiences I had. In this part of the sky, I look for the shape of tsuzumiboshi, a traditional Japanese drum. Its wide top and bottom. And these three stars mark the chord at the drum's narrow waist. I can even imagine the cord being stretched and pulled to change the pitch of the tsuzumi. I can almost hear it. It reminds me of when I was a child and went to see a play that took place during the war between the Heike and the Genji nearly 1,000 years ago. The drum was a symbol of the rivalry between two brothers, and sounds of the drum seemed both familiar and strange. The play also mentioned a great archer I knew from anime, the great marksman Nasuno Yoichi. He was only 16 years old when he performed an impossible feat for the Genji clan, shooting an arrow through a small fan on the mast of their enemy's ship. I imagined what it would be like to live in such a time, for a young man to earn such respect from his family. You can even see the colors of the two warring sides in the colors of the stars. The Heike clan fought under a red flag, while the Genji clan carried a white flag. Eventually, the emblems of the clans were added to the flags. The Heige's red flag showed a white butterfly, while the Genji's white flag sported violet wildflowers and bamboo leaves. The tsuzumiboshi has two especially bright stars, one red and one white. At the top of the drum, the bright star, Heikeboshi, or Beetlejuice, is bright red, like the Heike flag. At the bottom of the drum, Genjiboshi, or Raisho, shines white, like the Genji flag. These also remind me of the colors of the reversible cups we wore in elementary school. One side red, one side white, for when we would separate into teams. Once a year, we would also have undokai, or sports day at my school. Students divided into red and white teams and competed in many games, relay races, and even a tug of war. I always wished there would be an archery competition so I could shoot arrows like Nasuno Yoichi. When life becomes busy or stressful, I sometimes find relief as I gaze at the night sky. My thoughts expand, and I can remember the past and imagine the future. I imagine that everyone sees something different, but all of us look up and see the same sky.
কয়টা নাম্বার কি মা যাবা পানি খাবা চলো বাইরে যাও বেরে যা
পাশে পড়ে গেল তারপর
O Pa'anakala Tanaka Ko'uinoa. O Hawaii Ku'uone Hanau. I am Pa'anakala Tanaka. I come from Hawaii, a chain of islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, far from continents in any direction, the most isolated landmass in the world. My ancestors voyaged throughout these waters for generations, finding patterns in the night sky to help them navigate their journeys, making landfall and also returning home. When I travel far in the spring or summer across this deep ocean called Moana Nui Akea and see the 4 stars of Hanaya Kamalama rise upright in the south at just the right distance above the horizon, I know I am in my home waters.
সব বাচ্চার বাবারা বই হয়ে যাচ্ছে
My father was a Hawaiian wayfinder who recognized many such patterns in the night sky, and he taught me how to see them too. Like children, we can all connect the dots. My ancestors gave meaningful names to the stars in the night sky. Sometimes we use one name, sometimes another. And some generations find their own stories in the stars, with names as different as the people who create them. When